guided, like there's a divine power that's guiding you, or that you have spirit guides, or that somehow there's a divine plan that's unfolding and you're being shown the path? Do you feel like you can ask for guidance and that you receive it? Here's what I know. It may not be what you believe, but here's what I know. What I believe is that we are guided. We're not alone. We are guided, and we can receive guidance. Anytime we really ask for it, we just don't ask for it very often, and when we do ask, we're not listening or paying attention, and so we don't notice the guidance. Now, interestingly, I've been very, very focused in the new year on being spiritual, feeling guided, being aligned with my higher self and with something bigger than me, and I was kind of testing out this idea of guidance. And then this past week, I did an interview for my Nonfiction Writers University with a woman who was going to talk to us about business-related things, and being an author and raising money for being an author, things like that. And she sat there and talked about how we're never alone and we're always guided. And I was just floored. Not because I was really surprised, because I seem to attract those kind of people to me, but that here she was in a setting that had nothing to do with being spiritual, and she was really offering spiritual advice and telling everyone not to feel alone, to know that they were always guided, and that the answers to their questions were there if they only asked and then paid attention. And that, to me, was guidance for me. I was listening to someone who was telling me exactly what I wanted to hear, what I was focused on. It was like I was getting this message that, yes, we understand that you don't always hear guidance, you don't always notice it, but we know that you're asking for it, and we just want to confirm that it's here. Like the universe telling me, or some divine power telling me, yes, your belief in guidance is true, it's real, keep the faith, because we're guiding you, and here we are right now, like this lady, right in my face, guiding me, telling me that I was on the right track. So what I want to encourage you today is to consider this idea of being guided. I think we can be guided by our own higher self. Our soul, our spirit, is connected to source, if you want to call it that, to creator. And when we're aligned, when we're connected with our higher self, then we have access to that kind of guidance. So sometimes it's about just connecting with our own higher self, getting quiet and grounding ourselves in the part of us that is not physical, right? The spirit. And in that way, asking for guidance and then listening for it. We can do this in meditation, for instance. Sometimes, though, we're asking for guidance from elsewhere. And I do believe that we have guides, and I do believe that we get divine guidance as well. So we have to start to ask. And recently I've been asking. I went to a book launch event with Gabby Bernstein, and I have her new book, Super Attractor, and had been reading it. And she talks a lot about guides. And actually recently, a lot of things that I read or listen to talk about guidance. So anyway, but Gabby, I think it is, talks about how, she would ask for guidance. She would ask for a sign. So that's a type of guidance. Ask for a sign like a pigeon or a lily. And so recently I was thinking about starting a new program, and I wanted to know if it was in my highest good for me to do that. And I asked to be shown an owl. And for like a week, there was no owl. And I thought, well, okay, I guess I'm not supposed to offer this program. And then I was in Germany, and I walked into this Christmas market, and every booth I went to almost, let's say 2 out of 3 of the booths in this Christmas market that I went to had owls. They were everywhere. And I had to chuckle, because it was like, My guidance was trying to knock me over the head and saying, yes, yes, yes. And here we are, and we're guiding you, and we're telling you this isn't your highest good. So then I said, okay, so if I'm supposed to offer this program in January, show me an owl, flying. Well, nothing came. And then several weeks later, I was like on the internet or something, and there was this picture of a flying owl. So I was getting guidance. I think the problem is that often we ask for guidance and we just don't notice. It's like we have to be hit over the head with it. And so I think this is a matter of just really getting into the practice of asking for guidance. So if you're not in that practice, then you need to just start practicing, just like me. And so some of the things you can do is to, say, if this isn't my highest good, show me X, show me a bluebird, show me a blue jay, show me a lily, and you'll be surprised at what shows up. Now, if it doesn't show up, then either you're not seeing the signs or it's not in your highest interest, highest good. So asking for some specific form of guidance is one thing you can do. Another thing you can do is just to get quiet and ask your questions, and then wait for the answers. And you might not hear them as you sit there and ask for guidance. You might hear them on a message on the radio. Or I'm not talking about God talking you through the radio. I'm talking about just, somebody says something. So you hear an ad for something and it's that message you needed. So you have to ask and then you have to listen. You also have to ask and then you have to pay attention, right? Because if we're not paying attention, the sign could be there and we just don't ever see it. And so we have to pay attention. Matter of fact, we have to pay attention to everything, to the people we encounter, the things we see, what we feel, what we hear. And in that, we may indeed find our guidance. And then I think the last thing to do is to have faith that things are happening for you, not to you. So I think that we're always being guided. People often ask me whether I think that there's free will. And I always say I think that that there's destiny, that we come here and there's sort of a beginning point and an end point that we're supposed to get to, but we have the free will on how we get there. So it's a bit like an actor doing improv. There's maybe they have a role and they're supposed to act out the role, but at certain points they have improv, that they do. Or it's, we're driving the car and the GPS says, go to the left, and we decide we don't want to, we want to go to the right, and that ends up taking us 2 hours longer. I think that's kind of what life is like. At least I think so. And so I think we have to have faith that whatever's happening is not happening to us but for us, that in some way it is guiding us along a path to get to whatever it is that's for our highest good or to help us fulfill our purpose. So I want to challenge you this week to ask for guidance and to pay attention and to have faith that you are being guided, to know that you're not alone, and to have faith that you are being guided, and to just start noticing, asking for guidance and noticing what guidance you get. I would love to hear your experiences in a comment down below. I really would. And I'm going to be playing around with this too. Like I said, I'm just trying more and more to be guided and to let that guidance push me to the best path for myself, so that I can kind of take my hands off the wheel and not let it go on autopilot, but let somebody else drive, somebody who knows better than me. So that's where I am with it, and I want to hear what happens for you. I want to hear your thoughts on this topic, and I want to hear your experiences as you begin to play around with this idea of guidance. Okay? So that's it for today. I'm Nina Amir, the Inspiration to Creation Coach. I'm a certified high performance coach and an author coach. I love helping people get from where they are to where they want to go, to combine their passion and their purpose so they get inspired. And then they take inspired action, which gets them inspired results. I'm all about creating what you want, creating your best self, creating your desires, fulfilling your purpose, achieving your potential. If these are things that resonate with you If you want to do that by aligning also with the spiritual part of yourself, then first of all, go over to ninaamir.com. Just check me out. But if you want to work with me, then please think about filling out the application above. There's a little link above, and you can fill out my application for a free certified high performance coaching strategy session. We'll spend about 90 minutes together talking about clarity and energy and courage and productivity and your people skills and your purpose. So think about that. I would love to work with you and to see if we're a good fit to work together. But I promise that the 90 minutes will be worth your while. And if you're interested in the spiritual stuff, like I said, that comes out in the high performance coaching, but also watch for a new program coming out this year. I'm going to have a program that is personal and spiritual growth. Super excited about it. That's what turns me on. That's what I'm passionate about. And I think they go hand in hand. So if you're wanting to grow personally and spiritually, this will be for you. But in the meantime, just reach out for high performance coaching. I have a high performance coaching group starting up soon. And of course, I'm available for one-on-one coaching. So just go to ninaamir.com, check out what you see there, and let me know if you have any questions. And in the meantime, think about filling out my application. That's it for today. Until next time, go out there and achieve more inspired results.